somebody's ass. I mean, that's why we're here.
You don't choose this life. It chooses you. Cincinnati Reds, heartbreaking hope in one jersey. Let's talk about it. Every April starts fresh, we believe again. Young guns on the rise, feeling hoping to win. But by June we slipping, watch the season decay. And by August I'm just praying we don't fade away. They say next year, man I've heard that for life. Like a broken record echoing through Queen City nights. They trade our stars, keep pinching those dimes. Rebuild on repeat like it's stuck in rewind. Still I show up, red hat on my dome. Walking in the GABP like it's my home. Even when they lose, I ain't losing my soul. Cause this team, this pain, it's what makes me whole. Yeah, it sucks to be a Reds fan, I won't lie. But I stay loyal even when the hope runs dry. From Dunlevado, from Elly to McLean, I'll be in that crowd, singing through the rain. You can laugh, you can joke, you can call us cursed, but I wear that red proud, for better or worse. I don't switch, I don't quit, I don't hang my head. Cause I'm red, till I'm dead, red till I'm dead. Griffey in center, that sweet left swing. Back when the city thought we might win a ring. Now it's budget ball, cut corners, trim hopes, selling dreams every season like it's part of the joke. But this ain't just baseball, it's bloodline deep. My granddad wore red, now it's passed down to me. Through the highs, through the lows, we still in the fight. We don't chase easy, we built for night. I seen heartbreaking 9 innings flat. I seen a no-hitter wasted, yeah, imagine that. But we keep riding, we don't turn away. Since he faithful, stay loud, even when sky's gray. Yeah, it sucks to be a Reds fan, that's real. But I'd rather hurt with pride than fake what I feel. They don't get it, this pain, this pride is the reason we show up even when dreams die. Laugh now, we'll rise when it's least expected. Cause loyalty like this can't be neglected. I don't switch, I don't quit, I don't hang my head. Cause I'm red, till I'm dead, red till I'm dead. But we love this team through the wins, through the mess. From the bleachers to the streets, it's a city that reps. Ain't no love like this, no regrets, no steps. You ever love something that keeps letting you down? Still standing tall while the world calls you a clown. That's Reds life, it's scars and pride. It's the fire in our chest that never dies. So keep the fake fans, we don't need your cheers. We've been riding in the dark for 100 years. And when the day comes that we rise again, we'll remember who stayed, not just who pretend. Yeah, it sucks to be a Reds fan, but I ain't ashamed. This love runs deeper than just wins in a game. No matter the record, the losses, the spread, I'm red till I'm dead. Yeah, red till I'm dead.
Hit deep center field. And Gil going back at the warning track. Oh, he gave one. It's gone. Joey Votto is delivered.
What's up, Reds fans? Welcome in to the Chatterbox Reds pregame show. Today is July 11th, and the Reds take on the Colorado Rockies. My name is Mike, and with me is somebody who is more excited than I think anybody else is to see Chase Burns in the City Connects for the first time today. Ricky Logan, how are you doing today, bud?
Doing great. Happy Friday. Happy City Connect Friday. And yeah, I'm excited, man. I love those uniforms. And anytime you get to see somebody new in it, it's great.
Yeah. And it helps when the Rockies come into town, and they probably give you the best chance of winning of any of the teams out there. Obviously, they're still major leaguers, most of them. And, they're not going to go and they're not going to completely roll over on us. But I've been seeing some chatter going on about how important this series is. And, it's hard not to agree with that. It's hard to look at this and be like, man, we really need at minimum to win this series. It's hard to say we must have a sweep, but it's there. It would really do some awesome things to the confidence and everything of this team, but also the trajectory of it leading into the All-Star break. If we could get a 3-game sweep in this series, what are your thoughts on that?
Yeah, it's huge. It's kind of, I don't want to say it's a disappointing series against Miami, but just kind of a letdown splitting. But we did. It's good. I mean, we split it and we won the last 2. So I mean, that's something that we really haven't done well recently either. So getting the last 2 and then going into this series, I mean, the Rockies are, they've lost. They're 3-7 in their last 10. They've lost 3 in a row. Hopefully we can make that 6 in a row. So, I mean, there's not enough words to say how bad they've been this season. They're on a historic pace.
I think
kind of
they
unbelievable.
are 21-72 right now. I don't know the math, but that's a lot of games under 500. They are negative 251 run differential, and we're at the All-Star. We're not even at the All-Star break yet. The Reds have been successful since 2013. The Reds are 13-3 against the Rockies and 6-1 last year. And like we saw earlier, we really got to spark getting out of the doldrums when we got to go to Colorado and we swept them there in April. So hopefully we're able to ride some of that momentum in there, man. I would really love to see the Reds really start putting it all together, whether it's pitching, hitting, and bullpen, all of that together, and defense in there as well. It would be great to see just some complete wins. I really liked what Trace said, I think last night when he was talking about this series and how you can really, if you're Tito, you can treat this like it's a playoff series, right? It's part of the reason you can't treat all 162 games like they mean a ton, right? Because if you get too high, you've got to continue on the series. You have too many games to be able to do that. But we are about to have a week off. We are about to have a place for everyone to rest up, for everyone to get the rest they need, the bullpen, the hitters, the pitchers, all of that. Why not take these three and play them like you must win them for a playoff series? Because, you use your bullpen in the best way you can. You make the best moves. You're at the top step cheering every run in, because what do you have to lose here? You got the break off, and it would be great if we could treat this some sort of playoff game that not only could help the team, maybe even feel a little bit of the pressure. Obviously not exactly what it would be, but a little bit of what it would be if we were to play in October, and then, be able to hopefully go out and take advantage of a historically bad offense and pitching staff. So, I really like that idea of just like going in, treating this like, let's go have some fun and, try to win this like a playoff series.
Yeah, I agree 100% with that.
Yeah. There is, we could keep going on how bad the Rockies are. And we have some stats later, I think, that will continue to point out how they struggled in and out of Coors Field. But let's start talking about this lineup that the Reds are putting out there. Funny enough, this is the same lineup as yesterday. So we got another right-handed pitcher on the mound, and Tito said, "All right, if it ain't broke, don't fix it. Let's send it out there." What do you have on this lineup here, Ricky?
Yeah, we got TJ Friedl, mainstay leading off center field. Matt McLean batting in the 2-hole again, second base. Elly, he's batting .380 in his last 7 games, and he's I think Kirby talked about it yesterday on the postgame show. His strikeouts is kind of the new walks with Votto. Votto walked too much. Elly strikes out too much. It's a different game of baseball now. I mean, strikeouts are just part of it. And he's 36th in walks or strikeouts. So, I mean, he's not even like the worst person at striking out. So I think we need to end that narrative with him. And Austin Hayes.
He's also 23. Let's not forget about that.
Yes,
right?
he's young.
Super young.
He could figure it out. I mean, we're forgetting that part too.
Go ahead.
And then Austin Hayes, healthy. You there?
You there?
Yeah, we're here. Are we good?
All right, sorry. Looks like we got hit with a little internet bug. You keep going on that lineup.
All right, Austin Hayes cleaning up, batting 4th, left field. When he's healthy, he's been one of the Reds' best hitters. And if he had been healthy all year, his numbers would be incredible. Borderline all-star, maybe. Gavin Lux, DH. Spencer Steer, first base. Tyler Stevenson catching. Will Benson batting 8th in right field, and Noelvi Marte batting 9th at 3rd.
Yeah. We were talking before the stream, man, this is pretty, like, this lineup is pretty cool. Like, it's deep. It feels like you have a nice mix of right left to be able to throw off any bullpen potential, manipulation, things like that, man. It's pretty cool to see this. I would imagine that if we were to start a playoff game against a right-handed pitcher. Maybe Marte is a little higher in the lineup because he is, he's gotten back from his injury. He's proven that he's that sweet swing is driving in runs. So maybe that is different. But for the most part, that's a solid lineup that I think could do some damage against some good right-handed pitching. So hopefully we'll be able to see that. And Noelvi Marte batting ninth and turning that back over to Friedl and De La Cruz, also not that bad of an issue. So hopefully we'll be able to see how all of this is, plays into runs for the Reds. And one more thing before we move on, I've seen Flat Rock doing God's work in the chat, making sure that everybody hits the like button. I really appreciate it. But if you could, we got a lot of people in here watching and viewing, and we really appreciate that. But the way that this gets out in front of more people is if you like the show and keep commenting within it. The engagement and the likes are something that goes into the YouTube algorithm and puts it in front of more Reds fans. So we appreciate that. If you're in here watching with us, please drop a like. You can also subscribe and get the post-game shows and other great content that Chatterbox Reds puts out. So if you could do that, that really helps us out a bit. And we are very thankful. Thank you very much. Looks like we have something in here that Jake Fraley's back in town after 3 games of a rehab assignment. I don't know. Activation on Saturday is what Mark Sheldon says. Well, that's interesting. I think they talked a little bit about it last night. That would be probably CES going down, or maybe Connor Joe. I'm not sure. I think I'd probably rather have CES's upside than Connor Joe, but, we'll see. It seems like CES has completely fallen out of favor with Tito, and boy, it seems like CES is the one that's probably going to get sent down for that one. What do you think about that whole situation there, Ricky? Yeah,
I as crazy as it sounds, I think I'd rather see Connor Joe up right now and just see CES getting consistent at bats in AAA. He needs to work on adjustments. I think he's going to rake in AAA. He always has. But I think there just needs to be more, I guess, just tinkering with his approach. He needs to try to walk more, or at least try to see the ball better, because he's really been struggling with plate vision and plate discipline. I think he's like one of the lowest rated players on the team in terms of at-bats or pitches per at-bat. And he's had some atrocious swings at pitches like near his feet and up by his eyes. So I think getting him down there and letting him hit, and maybe just kind of coach him a little bit more, and maybe play him at third base more too down there consistently. Get some reps down there too.
Yeah, that's a great point. Being able to send somebody down there who has options and with like a clear plan of you need to get better at plate discipline and third base, like that is something that I can see. Hey, you go work on and improve yourself and getting everyday playing time. We see how that helps Rhys Hines. We've already seen him get a few hits, a few home runs, even back when he's been down in AAA. You just got to hope that some of this, people that are, killing the ball at AAA and then come up here and haven't really produced. What's tough about that, man, is it's just like the gap, it seems, between AAA and major league pitching, or just like play in general, is just getting wider and wider. So, I hope that these guys can go get hot and that can translate to the big leagues. But as we've seen with a lot of different players, it hasn't quite been there for it. Yeah, you want to talk about this comment here?
Yeah, he's not qualified, but he would be number 2 in all of MLB in chase percentage, and that's what the biggest issue is. And my reasoning with Connor Joe is he's got speed off the bench. He could be a pinch runner in I guess, no pun intended, a pinch, and he's got some defensive flexibility. He can play some outfield and some infield. So that's kind of my reasoning with kind of picking him over CES. But yeah, and that, like, if he could just figure out chasing the ball, he could be a really elite hitter in Major League Baseball.
Yeah, I agree. And he also has options. Connor Joe has options as well, and being able to send those guys down to AAA rather than quote unquote losing them if you have to DFA them. I see Jacob Doyle also mentioned bringing on LeMahieu, DJ LeMahieu. For people that don't know, DJ LeMahieu was DFA'd and outright released by the Yankees recently. He's pretty old and he's really been struggling defensively. But I don't know what your thoughts on, or how much I'm kind of springing this on you right now, but I don't know what your thoughts on that. He can play third base and first base. His third base defense and second base defense have been pretty poor. But I guess so has Marte and CES's, right? And he can also play first base. So he gives you some okay positional flexibility, maybe somebody that you could have as a bench bat. However, Jacob Doyle saying 800 career OPS versus left-handed pitching. That sounds great. Definitely not having a career year this year, though. So, it is somebody that, first off, he'd have to sign off and being a bench bat, which maybe he will. He just got cut. So maybe he's like, yeah, I'll take anywhere to be able to be on a major league roster. But I would imagine there would be other teams that would be like, hey, come on in, some of these struggling teams, and, you can get consistent playing time with them. I'd have to run through what teams may be doing that. But it's, I don't know. It doesn't seem like a perfect fit. I could see how it might work, but obviously we would not want to make sure it's on league minimum or something like that too, because we don't want to do that. But I don't know. I think it's interesting, not something that super moves the needle for me.
Yeah, I mean, it's enticing. I mean, he's batting .266 this season with a .674 OPS in limited games. And I guess the issue would be is who would you take off the 40-man to sign him? That'd be kind of a big decision to make. And another thing too is, like, if I'm taking a flyer on an older, like, veteran, I'm almost enticed to take a flyer on JD Martinez.
Yeah. I mean, he hasn't played a single game.
Yeah.
And he is a DH only, is your other issue. So, yeah. I mean, you probably get better upside offensively for JD Martinez, but I don't know. I get, like, it is enticing to have like a big DH bopper, right? A Brent Rooker or a David Ortiz, or even prime JD Martinez, right? In hitting in your lineup. And I think that would make it in certain games, it would make it the offense better. The only issue is you kind of lose flexibility. We've seen McClain DH, Elly DH, Austin Hayes DH, Spencer Steer DH, even Stevenson DH for Trevino playing. So we've seen Tito use that DH to give people days off from the field while still keeping their bat in their lineup, and has frankly allowed Trevino, who's been a big bright spot for our team, to bat more because he can keep Stevenson in the lineup as the DH and then let Trevino's glove get in and catch people and call an awesome game and as well get some hits. So, you kind of lose that if you sign a DH only, right?
Yeah.
So, I guess for me, it'd have to be a really good DH only, somebody that's going to come in and just absolutely mash. And I don't know if Martinez is good enough for us to say, yeah, you can have the DH spot. And, that's that, so we'll see. And he's also, another thing about that is Martinez is going to command a certain amount of money, right? LeMahieu would only need to be given the league minimum, because when you get released by your team, you're still on the hook. So the Yankees are still paying his salary for the rest of the year. So if they were to sign him for just this year, the Reds would only need to sign him for the league minimum, because he'd be getting paid his 15, 20 million or however much he makes by the Yankees. So there's just a cost benefit there as well with Martinez versus LeMahieu. I don't know. Maybe that's a sneaky thing that they end up doing. I just don't see them, going into that realm there. They haven't shown me, the front office really hasn't shown me any sign that they would be willing to do something like that. Yeah. All right. Let us talk a little bit about our opponents that we're playing. That Chase Burns is going to be facing. We have Tyler Freeman leading off, playing right. Mickey Moniak DHing, batting second. Hunter Goodman, their catcher, batting third. Jordan Beck, left fielder, batting fourth. Michael Toglia, Playing first, Ryan McMahon. Playing third, Brenton Doyle. Playing center, Kyle Farmer, old friend. Playing second and batting eighth. And then Ryan Ritter batting ninth and playing shortstop. What are your thoughts on these guys facing Chase Burns?
Funny enough, I do like Jordan Beck a lot. I think he's got probably like maybe the highest ceiling in the lineup right now for them. And Mickey Moniak was a former first overall pick, I believe. So he had potential with the Angels. So I mean, he could sneak one in, but
I think he got drafted by the Phillies and then traded to the Angels.
Yeah,
and then DFA'd and picked up by the Rockies.
But I hope that I'm right, but I feel like this is like the Chase Burns like breakout game. Hopefully, the Rockies are just atrocious offensively. 27th in OPS, 26th in batting average, 27th in runs scored. Like it doesn't get much worse than that offensively, and they just don't have anybody that screams at me like great. I mean, Brenton Doyle's coming off like an 8-game hitting streak, and he's probably been their most, I guess, consistent hitter they've had this year.
Yeah, especially with Chase Burns coming off this pretty tough stretch where he faced the Yankees, the Red Sox, and the Phillies, right? Three very good offenses. And, you know, outside of his one blip where he was pretty clearly tipping pitches, you know, he's pitched quite well, right? I mean, his last start, he didn't go deep, you know, 4 2/3 innings, didn't quite make it through the fifth, but only 2 hits and 1 earned run and 7 strikeouts. And that 1 earned run was given up he didn't give that up. It was just a guy that the bullpen gave it up. Yeah, gave it up as they came in. So, you know, I've been very impressed with Chase Burns, and I think I'm right there with you. I think that there is a chance for him to do something really special. One thing to know about Colorado, everyone thinks about the Rockies because of, you know, they play in Coors Field that is at altitude, the ball flies there, all that kind of stuff. But an underrated thing that happens in Coors Field as well is that just breaking balls don't break as well, right? So because of that, and we've heard people talk about this a lot, either coming out of Colorado or just having to go pitch in Colorado, right? It's just your slider doesn't slide as much as you want. Your curveball doesn't break as much. Your you know, all of your pitches just don't move as much as you would think that they would in the lighter air. So because of that, obviously that affects your pitchers, and we'll talk a little bit about German Marquez, but that's going to affect your hitters too, right? If you're used to seeing a slider that breaks a certain way in altitude, and then you come down to sea level, which is where the Reds are at, and you see the same slider or Chase Burns' disgusting slider, that ball is breaking like more than you've ever noticed, you know? And so one of the stats that I found, let me see if I can, you can see if I pull this up, just like on the road. So because of that, Rockies hitters on the road have been horrible. Right? We're talking a 206 average, a 69 WRC plus. Remember, 100 is average. Yeah, a 100 is average. So that's 31% worse than average when batting on the road, with a 28.3 strikeout percentage. So that over a quarter of the batters that they send up there on their road starts strike out. Right? So that's huge. That's, I think, 206 is second to last, 69 is second to last, and 28.3 is last in the league. So quite bad. I put in here their 611 stat since 611 because it's actually improved a little bit since June 11th. I found an article that said they actually started using heavier balls in their pregame or their batting practice to try to simulate more break accordingly to help them with this process. And you see it's improved them a little bit, right? 255 average, 89 WRC plus. It's not awful. It's still not great, but still a 26.2% K rate, right? We're still just bottom of the barrel and not being able to get, you know, put the bat on the ball. And, you know, what is Chase Burns known for? Striking people out, right? Yeah. I don't know what the over under is for strikeouts for Chase Burns today, but I would imagine we're going to see a lot of strikeouts if he can go, and like a historic amount, maybe even if he can go deep in this game. So, the all signs point to Chase Burns throwing a gem tonight, and I really hope that we can get there.
Yeah, there was some betting lines about him hitting 10 plus. It's pretty substantial. I think it might have been Talking Baseball or something. They had their highlights for like their bets, and they had Chase Burns 10 plus. It was like plus like 500 or something. He's like hammer it. So I mean, hopefully, with the Rockies being a strikeout team and Burns being a strikeout pitcher, I mean, I just like the stars are aligning here. So it's a good matchup for us. But I mean, like, anything could happen. Let's keep that in mind. He's a young pitcher. He had command issues the last game in the first inning. He did say he has I won't say an issue, but a tendency to kind of get amped up before a start and maybe just kind of overdoes it to start a game. But I'm expecting a great game out of Chase Burns today.
Yeah. And one way that it affects the hitters, we know that it also affects the pitchers, right? Now all of a sudden the way your breaking ball breaks in Coors Field is not going to break the same way. So I also found some German Marquez starts, and you can see the difference, right? At home, 1-6. I mean, that record's not great, still 1-6, but he's got a 5 ERA. That's at Coors Field with a 12.5 K or strikeout rate and a 6.3 walk rate. As you can see, as he goes to sea level, his ERA jumps up a run and a half almost. His strikeout rate goes up, but his walk rate also goes up. So, it's just as you're moving to conditions that you're not used to, your ball moves differently. And that leads to more strikeouts because it's maybe breaking more than they're expecting, but also more walks, more people that you're not being able to command the strike zone, and clearly more hits, right? 6.48 ERA is not good. I think he's got maybe 10 starts on the road. So it's not a small sample size either. So let's hope the Reds can take advantage of that with German Marquez. Overall, he is 3-10 with a 5.84 ERA for his entire season. And his last start was against the White Sox. He went 6 innings, 11 hits, 6 earned runs, and only 2 strikeouts. So, once again, all the stars seem to be aligning for this Reds team. And it couldn't be coming at a bigger time because we talked earlier how this needs to be a great series for them. Hopefully, at least 2 out of 3, hopefully getting the sweep. Any thoughts on Marquez before we move to the pitching path to victory?
Yeah. Marquez is a really good pitcher. He's probably their best pitcher that they have, like just in recent times. He was originally signed by Tampa Bay in 2011. He played in their minor league system, and he got traded to Colorado in 2016. He climbed from Double-A to Major League Baseball in the same season. He got called up in September of that year, and he was an All-Star in 2021. He's it's a shame, I guess, playing for Colorado kind of just ruins everything for him. But this season, he's 72nd percentile in walk percentage, and he's 9th percentile in exit velocity at a 91.2 mile per hour exit velocity average. And he has a fastball, 95 miles per hour, that he throws 31% of the time, a knuckle curve that he throws 31% of the time, a sinker that goes 94 miles per hour, then a slider and a changeup. And active Reds against him are 8 for 25. Gavin Lux is 4 for 15, 3 walks and a triple and 2 doubles. Jose Trevino is 2 for 4 with a double. TJ Friedl is 2 for 3 with 2 home runs.
That sounds
and
great.
Spencer Steer is 0 for 3 with 2 Ks. So I'd like to see a Friedl ambush in the first inning would be kind of nice.
Ambush, first inning home run for TJ Friedl sounds like another sneaky good bet for us today. Once again, sounds like we're getting the team right where we want them, and hopefully we can take advantage. Let's talk a little bit about the pitching path to victory. I'd love Chase Burns to be able to go deep in this game, but it seems that, Tito has been I guess the whole Reds organization has just been kind of bringing him along slowly, making sure that he can maybe even pitch all the way to the end of the year by monitoring his innings and things like that. So we're probably still going to see some people from the bullpen, and, a sneaky amount of people pitched yesterday. Mole, Ashcraft, Santillan, and Barlow all pitched yesterday. I think Mole only had like 6 pitches, only faced 1 batter. So I would imagine he's probably available. We'll see. I would imagine if we're going into this, say maybe he gets through 6, if it's close, we're probably seeing that A bullpen. And I don't know if that is Ashcraft at 7 still. I mean, he did load the bases, even though he got out of it with a double play. But and then Santillan and Pagan, he seemed pretty specific wanting to do that. But it would be great if the Reds could just jump on Marquez, get out to a big lead, and then you can give, Rogers and Suter and Leon Richardson just some runway to, make a few mistakes, but, still be able to, win this game comfortably.
Yeah, Suter hasn't pitched since Monday, and Barlow only threw 13 pitches yesterday, so maybe he gets another appearance. But I'm looking at his numbers, and he's been like an every other day pitcher. And Mole threw 7 pitches, Ashcraft threw 17, but he didn't pitch the previous 3 games before that. So maybe, just maybe, he comes in. But yeah, you would like to see your A bullpen, and Leon Richardson hasn't pitched in 2 days either. So maybe he gets some work in if we're comfortable.
I would imagine Suter is also there in case Burns gets into early trouble. Like what happened in God forbid that happens. We got the Rockies in town, but like what happened with the Red Sox, Suter's probably your first guy out of the pen there.
Yeah.
And then the Rockies bullpen, they had the date off yesterday. They're all rested. One thing to note about the Rockies bullpen is they only have one left-handed pitcher, which is, I think, big for the Reds, who will platoon things. So, that what that tells me is we're probably not seeing Connor Joe, probably only seeing Espinal for defensive replacement, and Benson and Lux, and then potentially Fraley, if he gets activated tomorrow, are going to be used mostly in this series, would be my guess.
Yeah. You mentioned on the show you and Nick did, talking about trade deadline acquisition, like trading for like bullpen help and stuff. And you brought up Jake Bird. It's funny because I was looking at his numbers, and his ERA on the road is like 5.66, and his ERA at home is 1.7. So I mean, like he's been like that victim, like you said earlier, about getting used to pitching at altitude, and then when you go on the road, just nothing seems to work for you. And he also does have reverse splits, so he's like effectively as a lefty, but he's a right-handed pitcher.
Yeah. I don't know. I think he got lit up in his last at. I think he only won a third of the inning, gave up 5 earned runs against Boston, so that'll inflate the ERA if you're a reliever. But maybe that just drives the price down, so the Reds can get something there. Jacob Doyle brings up a good point too. Suter after Burns, you go from a 101 fastball from the right side to an 86 mile an hour fastball from the left side. Probably pretty good thought that you might see Suter right after Burns today.
That's like going from the highway to a school zone.
I know, that's nuts. All right. What about tonight's weather? How are we looking today out there, Ricky?
It's hot.
Yep, it's hot. Ball's probably going to fly. Let's see a couple home runs by the Reds here. Let's see. Rest of the series, we have a game tomorrow, Saturday, 4:10 p.m. We have Brady Singer going 7-7 with a 4.32 ERA versus the perennial all-star TBD. It looks like this was the spot that one of the top prospects, Chase Dolander, was pitching in, and he recently got optioned to AAA. He'd been pretty bad. He was one of the top draft picks, I think, not last year, but the year before, like in the Rhett Lauder draft. And he's been pretty poor. So they don't know what they're going to do yet. I don't know if they're going to call somebody up. I don't know if they are going to just bullpen day it. Either way, great. Go down to the ballpark and get your Elly De La Cruz basketball jersey on that day. And that one looks pretty good for us too. And then Sunday we got Nick Martinez hoping to bounce back from his poor outing against the Marlins against left-handed pitcher Austin Gomber, who is 0-2 with a 5.92 ERA. So once again, pitching matchups look nice for the Reds. We go into this series like, hey, let's win every one of these games. It's hard to say we got to sweep, but boy, it would feel nice sitting there on Sunday night, sitting there with a 5-2 homestand, having swept the Rockies like we're supposed to do, like you were supposed to do. You're supposed to sweep a 22-75 team, and if you're able to do that, I think this fan base could feel a lot better going into the break.
Yeah, I mean, it's huge. And Gomber is a former St. Louis Cardinal, He played there in 2018 and 2020.
Yeah, I think he was in the Arenado trade, right?
I believe so, yeah. He really wasn't great in St. Louis either, but he was also a younger pitcher at the time too. So you never know. I was trying to find a stat on him, but it's gone. Yeah, we can move on.
It's all right. It's all right. He hasn't pitched much this year and hasn't been that good. So hopefully we're able to go for the sweep on that day. Do you have? Let's do the NL Central rundown now. Do you have what does it look like around the NL Central today?
Yeah, we got the Cubs in first place at 55 and 38. They're playing at the Yankees tonight at Yankee Stadium at 7:05. The Milwaukee Brewers are 53 and 40. They play the Nationals at home in Milwaukee. St. Louis is 50 and 44. In third place, they play Atlanta at home in St. Louis. And we are 48 and 46. We're taking on the Rockies, two wins away. Terry Francona from 2,000 career wins. So that hopefully we can get that on Saturday and we can see them celebrate that a little bit with them. Maybe kind of a cool moment. And Pittsburgh, 38 and 56. They're playing at Minnesota tonight.
Nice. Yeah. And before we get to our what to watch fors, we're going a little bit long, but that's par for the course for us today on these shows, Ricky.
Yeah.
Please like the stream. We appreciate everyone that's in here chatting with us. Thank you very much. Please like the stream. It helps us. It's very easy to do, real quick, and really helps us out. So if you
it's
do
free.
that would be that would be awesome. We appreciate that. All right. Start thinking about your predictions because we're going to ask about those next. But we're going to start with Ricky's what to watch for.
Yeah, I don't have the Friday night candy stats anymore. But
too bad, man. Too bad.
I got some fun ones though. I got two. I got Will Benson has scored at least one run in each of his last 4 previous home appearances against the Rockies.
That's right. That's the stat I'm looking for right there. Those are the best.
Yeah, and then we got Austin Hayes has recorded at least 1 RBI in 4 of his last 5 previous appearances against the Rockies after playing the previous day.
That's even better. After playing the okay. Well, do you know what that means? That means he's got to keep that streak up. He's got to get an RBI.
That
in every
means
single
Elly's
series.
going to get on base and he's going to drive him in first inning after the TJ Friedl leadoff home run.
Dude, I like it. I like it. All right. My what to watch for has to do with Chase Burns and specifically was him facing the Rockies. We talked about it a little bit. They've really struggled on the road strikeout wise, but I did a little bit of research and the Rockies against their last 6 road starting pitchers, they are striking out so much. Like, look at this. The average strikeout per 9 is 7.41. And all strikeout per 9 is they take your number of strikeouts per number of innings and they basically extrapolate that out to 9 innings. So it's how many strikeouts you would have per 9-inning game. So on average, the pitchers, starting pitchers that they've faced have had a 7.41 strikeouts per 9, right? And it's not like they're facing Zach Wheeler, Justin Verlander, Spencer Strider, right? They're facing Lucas Giolito, Richard Fitz was one of them, Quinn Priester, Jose Quintana. These are not guys that are known for dialing up lots of strikeouts and things like that. However, when they face the Rockies in those 6 starts, the Rockies strikeout per 9 for them was 10.83. So almost 3.4 strikeouts per 9 jump when these guys pitched against the Rockies, right? These guys are striking out at a historic rate, and it's only getting even more. So like the strikeout per 9 jumped almost 3.5 points when they faced the Rockies. Ricky, would you like to wager a guess in what Chase Burns' strikeout per 9 is?
I'd assume it's pretty high.
Yeah, it is 13.5. He averages 13.5 strikeouts per 9. And I know it's a small sample. His minor league numbers, it was 12.1. So Chase Burns comes in and gets a lot of strikeouts facing a team that already strikes out a ton versus starting pitchers. So if you were to extrapolate that 3-point jump to his 13.5, that'd be around a 16.9 strikeout per 9. So if he goes just 5 innings, that's 9 strikeouts. If he goes 6 innings, that's 11 strikeouts. So, we could see something historic today with Chase Burns. And, it's just like our good on their really bad. And it would be really cool to see. So, I'm not a betting person, but if I was, I'd put something on the over strikeouts for Chase Burns tonight. That would be mine.
Yeah, like we said earlier, the stars are aligning for just a great performance from Chase Burns tonight.
Yes.
I hope we're right. I really do, because I think we could clip this and we could put it out there, because I mean, like, the Rockies offense, they're so bad, man. Like, and their pitching is even worse, if that's even possible.
Yeah.
They're just on a historic pace. I think they're on pace for, like, I think the major league record in losses. So
yeah.
And that's saying something based on how bad the White Sox were last year.
Yeah. Well, let's help them on with that. We'll help them on for their history by giving them 3 more losses to this weekend. How about that?
Let's do it.
All right. Now is the time for our crystal ball portion of this show, where everyone gets into the chat and types in what they think their projected score for tonight will be. I've already seen a few in here. We saw Dunny said 7-0 Reds. Jacob Doyle 8-2. Sounds great. I'm in. I don't know if that's the score or if I'm not sure what that is, but boy, I'd like an 8-2 game. Optimistic John 7-0. Burns goes 6. I love that. Louis 7-2 Reds. You'd have to that all these sound great. Molly 8-2 Reds. Great. I love that we got Reds winning all of these things. Please keep coming in there. Keep bringing your predictions in there. And while we wait, Ricky, I have stalled enough. It's time for you to give me your prediction. What's your prediction here?
I'm feeling some runs tonight. I feel the stars aligning for a Baltimore-esque game.
Oh, wow.
I'm not going to say 24, but I think we could. I think we're going to put some runs up. I'm going to say 11-1.
11-1. Wow, Ricky coming in.
Going bold.
I love it. 11-1 Reds, man. If that's the case, man, I'd be sitting there enjoying every last bit of my popcorn, sitting there. I'm going to a bar to watch this game with my dad. So I'm excited. We're going to sit there and we're going to watch the Reds win there, and then sit there happily as Trace and Nick talk about how our season's back on. I love it.
Yeah. You want another bold prediction?
Yeah.
I think Chase is going to go 6 innings with 13 strikeouts.
13 Ks. You just stole what I was about to say.
Oh, man.
I was
14 strikeouts. 14.
Yeah,
strikeouts.
I think Chase Burns clears 10 easy.
Yeah,
I think he clears 10 easy. And yeah, he puts up a historic amount. So he just puts on a show for Friday Night Fireworks. And I think the bullpen gets it done too, and we shut him out. We're going to go
from Friday Night Candy to Friday Night Burns.
Yeah, I'm going to say, I like that. I'm going to say Optimistic John had him at 7-0. So did Dunny. I'm going to go 8-0. I think 8-0. I think we pitch a shutout, and we ride into this weekend getting Tito one step closer to his 2,000 wins, and really putting some juice into these bats before the All-Star break.
I love it.
All right. Well, those are our predictions for today. Thank you guys for watching. We really appreciate it. It's fun coming in here talking Reds before the Reds game. I appreciate that you guys want to come in here and listen to all my stats that I've drummed up. I appreciate that you appreciate it. Tune in for the post-game show. It's going to be Nick and Trace tonight. They decided since the All-Star break is coming, they'll do a Friday show for you. And I think it's also because they think that something historic might happen tonight. I think they don't want to miss out on, Chase Burns going 9 shutty or something like that. So, tune in for that. Please like the stream. I already mentioned earlier, it costs you nothing to do, and it really helps us. So please like the stream. Tell a friend about Chatterbox Reds. And if we don't have anything else, man, I think it's about time to say some Go Reds.
Yeah, like the stream, subscribe, tune in tonight, and go Reds.